Here.
Mr. Cox.
Here.
Mr. Crumpton.
Here.
Mr. Dillon.
Here.
Ms. Fide.
Here.
Mr. Kella.
Here.
Mr. Mystic.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, before we get into the agenda, I would like to make an announcement. I think this is our last meeting.
Yeah, your mic is off.
It's off?
I'll take all of them.
All of the mics, did you push the mics are all off?
Okay,
There we
Try
go.
now.
testing. Okay, all right. Today is our last day with Mark.
It is.
So, Mark, we really appreciate your service and gonna miss you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Did you bring cake for him?
I did not because of the social distancing and
right.
COVID and all of that.
Oh, nice
I guess-
excuse, nice.
Well, let's just think about virtual cake, virtual cupcakes, virtual adult beverages.
Well, I'll be around, but
Okay,
it was nice being here.
thank
Really
you.
was.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you
Yeah,
very much for your service.
Yeah, it was that guy.
Okay, first order of business will be the approval of minutes from the August 20th meeting.
Do I have a motion for the approval of the minutes?
So make a motion to approve.
Do a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Cox.
Aye.
Mr. Crumpton.
Aye.
Ms. Fide.
Aye.
Mr. Kella.
Aye.
Mr. Mystic.
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Caparelli.
Aye.
Mr. Dillon.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we'll have citizens to be heard on agenda items. Our 4-minute rule is in effect. Okay, we will move on to old business, public hearing. Our first case is ZO-2-20, and that is an ordinance to require an annual payment in lieu of taxes as a condition of a special use permit for all truck parking facilities, as well as ZO-3-20, an ordinance to require an annual payment in lieu of taxes as a condition of a special use permit for all truck terminal facilities. The proposed ordinances to require these payments needs to be tabled to the October 15th Plan Commission meeting in order to provide staff with additional time for research.
This has been tabled before. Do you need more time? You can
Yes.
lock yourselves in for, other than October, maybe just open it, table it until you're ready to bring it to us?
I think we'll be ready on the 15th, October 15th.
Okay, one other thing, about that. Because I've seen some of the stuff on this. Could you send it back to everybody on the commission so they can read through it? There's a lot of material on this.
On the payment in lieu of taxes?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get
On all the,
information.
back and forth of what's been going on with the different committees for this.
Sure, yeah, we'll get,
I'll have a chance to read it before, not 2 days, but
Got
at least
it.
a week, so I could go, I gotta think about this, what I'm doing.
okay, we'll get the information out.
Okay, with that in mind, do we have a motion?
I motion to table to October, planning commission meeting.
Second. Roll call?
Mr. Crumpton.
Aye.
Ms. Fide.
Aye.
Mr. Kella.
Aye.
Mr. Mystic.
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Aye.
Mr. Caparelli.
Aye.
Mr. Cox. Mr. Dillon.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll move on to new business, public hearing. Our first item there is P-9-20. That is the revised preliminary plat of Silvercross Hospital 2 subdivision, and FP-4-20. That's the final plat of Silvercross Hospital 2 subdivision, Unit 2. The applicant in this matter is Silvercross Hospital. They are the owners, requesting approval of a revised preliminary plat and final plat of subdivision in order to allow the sale of a remnant hospital building. The existing zoning is R-B, and that's restricted business. Location is the southeast corner of Walnut Street and Route 6. Size of the parcel is 33.4 acres. The final, I believe this would be for the final plat, is a little over 2 acres. Existing land use, vacant Silvercross Hospital site. Under surrounding land use and zoning, to the north is institutional and residential. RB, that's restricted business. R3, that's 1 and 2 family residential. And R2, that's single family residential, Joliet. To the south is institutional and residential, RB, R3, and unincorporated Will County parcels. To the east, institutional residential, R2, R3, and unincorporated Will County. To the west, institutional residential, RB, and R3 zoning. Under site history, Silvercross Hospital has been granted many past approvals on annexations, reclassifications, and right-of-way vacations in order to accommodate the redevelopment and expansion of their site. Most recently, a planned unit development was approved for the Aunt Martha's Youth Services Center and the Veterans Affairs Outpatient Clinic. The preliminary plat was approved in March 2013, and the Unit 1 recording plat approved in August 2015. A special use permit to allow a 67-unit supportive living facility for veterans and their families was approved by the mayor and city council at their meeting in May 2014. A planned unit development was approved in June 2015 for the Hope Manor Veterans Housing Facility. Under special information, the approval of the revised preliminary plat and final plat will allow the continued redevelopment of the Silvercross Hospital Mixed-Use Medical Services Park. The revised preliminary plat includes 7 lots ranging in size from 1 acre to 14 acres. Lot 4, which is 2.1 acres, is the only lot included on the Unit 2 final plat. Will County is interested in the existing 4-story building that remains on the lot. They plan to combine some of their existing services into this building that are currently scattered in multiple locations. These uses include the Veterans Assistance Commission, the Children's Advocacy Center, the County Clerk's Voting Equipment and Training Center, and general storage. Adjacent parking will be included on the lot and is adequate for the proposed uses. There are no other uses known at this time for the other undeveloped lots. The adjacent road network and common access drives are available and are adequate to serve the future proposed use. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kendall. Do we have the petitioner on hand?
Good afternoon. Joseph Hammer, Rudiger Tonelli and Associates, 129 Capista Drive, representing Silvercross Hospital in this matter. We agree with staff's summary and would be available for any questions.
Okay. Do we have any questions from the commissioners?
So are you selling this to the county then? The building's gonna be sold to the county?
That is correct.
Okay.
Is there any demo to be done on this? Any demolition to be done on this project?
Once the county has it, there may be some internal demolition. Some work will need to be done to the building and potentially to the site. That would come later, though.
Great.
Any other questions? Any questions from the public?
What's gonna be done with the, with that area? My property butts up to my.
Yeah, sir, if you gotta step up to the mic, we can't hear you.
My property butts up to Old Silvercross, so I'm just wondering what's, sorry I'm late, but, so the county's buying it, and then what's gonna happen from there?
What Will County's gonna do with it?
I believe that Will County, sir, I mean, you normally don't answer questions, but I believe they're gonna put the Veterans Assistance Commission in there, which is right next to the VA. I go to the VA, and I have been a member of the executive board of the Veterans Assistance Commission. So it's kind of a win-win because the hospital, the outpatient hospital is right there. And when veterans come in for service, as opposed to going by St. Joe's and Glenwood, they'll be able to go there. And I believe that there'll be other ancillary county buildings there.
Are they gonna expand east then, on that side of the street, or?
I don't, go ahead, Mr. Ruder.
We have representation here from Silvercross Hospital.
Okay.
Good.
So I'm Jeff Tryon, Vice President of Operations at Silvercross Hospital. Right now, the only intention is to sell the 2.1 1 acres to the county, and Kendall listed out what they're planning to do with that building. They are going to be doing some demo inside the building, I know, but nothing outside that I'm aware of, other than possibly putting a delivery door at the bottom, lower level of the building that's not there right now. As far as the rest of the property is up for sale, there's no askers or any interest at this point in time for the rest of the property, so. But yeah, with the Veterans Assistance, the VA clinic, and the Veterans of America housing next door, it's a great complement for all three of those. So, but yeah, I'd like to tell you we could get rid of the rest of the property and have a plan for it, but there's no interest at this point in time.
You guys are also planning on putting a child's African center in there?
It's in the county building, yes.
Any other questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move to approve?
Second.
Ms. Fide?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Mystic?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Caparelli?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Crompton?
Aye.
Mr. Dillon?
All right.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, the next item on our agenda is FP-5-20, and that is the final plat of Clarius Park Joliet Subdivision Phase 2. The applicant in this matter is Clarius Partners LLC. They are also the developer. Owner is HD Park Joliet Land LLC. They are requesting approval of a final plat to develop 2 industrial lots on 2 outlots. The zoning here is I-2 General Industrial, located at the northwest corner of Youngs Road. The parcel is 73 acres. Existing land use is undeveloped industrial. Surrounding land use and zoning to the north is industrial I-2, to the south is industrial I-2, to the east is undeveloped I-2, and to the west is industrial I-2. Under site history, the mayor and city council approved the preliminary plat in August 2007 and the recording plat for Phase 1 in August 2009. Reapproval of the preliminary plat of subdivision was approved in 2010, 2014, 2017, and in 2020 for 3-year periods. Under special information, the petitioner is requesting the approval of the final plat in order to allow for the continued development of the Clarius Industrial Park. The proposed development and layout match the previously approved preliminary plat. Lot 2, which is 45.5 acres, is proposed to include a future 906,000 square foot warehouse distribution facility. Lot 3, which is 14.4 acres, is a buildable lot, but there is no known development plan identified yet for that lot. Outlots B and C are part of the overall storm detention system and are not buildable. All public improvements will be required as per our subdivision regulations and Public Works and Utilities departments. This development will feature a new realignment of Youngs Road that will provide better access to the distribution center and improve traffic flow from existing Youngs Road to existing Amico Road. Phase 1 public improvements included partial reconstruction of the newly realigned Youngs Road. Phase 2 improvements will complete the realignment project. Stormwater detention and landscaping will also be provided for as per the previously approved plans. And that concludes the staff report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the petitioner on hand?
And I told her it just got approved, it's already done. She doesn't understand. Yeah, my son is coming.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. My name is Untitled Chapter, Senior Vice President with Clarius Partners LLC.
My son is
Very
coming.
pleased to be in front of you again. It's been a little while, but we're excited to be kicking off yet now a second phase of Clarius Park Joliet Industrial. Happy to answer any questions. I think Kendall summed it up very nicely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from any of the commissioners?
That number tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Seeing none, anything from the public?
Thank you.
We have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Mystic?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Caparelli?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Crompton?
Aye.
Ms. Fide?
Aye.
Mr. Dillon?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, our final case under new business is PUD 120, and that is the preliminary planned unit development of 1801 Jefferson Street. The applicant in this matter requests that the petition for a preliminary planned unit development of 1801 West Jefferson Street, and that is the former Kmart property, be tabled to the October 15th, 2020 Plan Commission meeting to provide more time for discussion with staff on this particular proposal. Staff is in support of this request.
Okay, we get a motion for table?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Mystic?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Caparelli?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Crompton?
Aye.
Ms. Fide?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Dillon?
Aye.
Thank you. Staff has nothing under old or new business, not for final action or recommendation. We will move on to public comments. Our 4-minute rule is in effect. Seeing no one in presence, a motion would be in order for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment then.
Second. Or motion to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Caparelli?
Aye.
Mr. Cox?
Aye.
Mr. Crompton?
Aye.
Ms. Fide?
Aye.
Mr. Kella?
Aye.
Mr. Mystic?
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Aye.
Mr. Dillon?
Aye, and thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Join you for a while.
Yeah.
I miss you.